Prayer is on, right?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Hmm?
Now I hear you.
We're going to look at the technique for the mystic prayer. It's the 9th chapter in the book. Um, it's about 14 pages with diagrams, I think, in it. We'll have someone read it through. Also, today is, we're here today. We're not here next week. We come back on the 17th, and then we go on for the year. So just in case I forget to mention it again. So we're going to have, who's going to be the first reader? You have it set up, Dwayne, so
Yeah,
that
on my end, yeah.
online audience can see? Okay.
You're muted. So you're muted.
Is that better? That's good? Okay.
Chapter 9 The Mystic Prayer Technique, a complete prayer method for radiating cosmic energies. The introduction to the mystic prayer technique. The method of prayer given here seems simple and easy to perform, but is a highly advanced technique designed to have a tremendous impact on the auric, astral, and physical structures and its surrounding atmosphere. This prayer technique literally turns the physical body, subtler bodies, and auric structure into a complex receiving and transmitting instrument for consciously directed pranas, cosmic energies. Pranas transmitted with a direct, clear purpose for radiating spiritual cosmic energies to some local or distant person, place, or thing. This method of prayer brings about definite results. I and many other people can testify to this. A close examination of the technique by an experienced mystic will no doubt reveal the true secrets of its power. In this book and chapter, I hope to give the student a pathway to these secrets and its great and unlimited resource of power. The key to effective praying is to understand that it is a method of manipulating prana. In addition, this prayer method is a prayer technique for transmitting the great, subtler energies that radiate from the absolute source of power which sustains all life. These subtler pranas are the all-pervasive force throughout the entire universe that is used to create and sustain our existence, as clearly stated in previous chapters. These subtle cosmic energies are the Shakti powers of the universe. As stated in the earlier chapters, this Shakti power has several principles which operate in a karmic framework of Shakti mind, Shakti prana, Shakti love, and Shakti wisdom. The result of this produces the Mahabhutas, the etheric cosmic elements of the universe. From these etheric cosmic elements, various levels/frequencies of matter are manifested within all the realms of creation, throughout the galaxies. These etheric cosmic elements, Mahabhutas, permeate the universe and manifest themselves through the millions of suns, solar logos, throughout the countless galaxies. The sun, Mahabindu, is a compaction of cosmic forces such as nada forces, chitta, which is universal mind substance, tattvic rays, which are the modes of vibration of the radiated energies, the 5 Mahabhutas, and 5 major pranas, all perfectly balanced karmically to produce an endless supply of subtle energies for all life within solar systems and beyond. This is a brief explanation of the Shakti modification, which occurs on its journey from the absolute power source. These Shakti powers are the building blocks for all things. It is the arrangement of these Shakti powers that give endless different expression to life throughout the universe. This method of prayer is an ancient scientific form of prayer, yet highly sophisticated. It allows an ordinary person to make contact with the all-pervasive creative energy of the Absolute, God. The prayer technique will allow the person praying to become a point of consciousness under karmic authority, either directly or indirectly. This prayer method is a combination of several yogic methods, Christian, Buddhist, and Hindu methods or ritualistic religion techniques that produce a dynamic effect on this physical plane. I hope to convey this mystic science and method of the prayer technique in a clear, understandable manner within this chapter and book. Why this technique works. The mental energies of man's mind manipulate thousands of units of auric substance, subtle energy particles, and subtle gross quantities of positive, negative, and several planes of existence simultaneously. These activities of mental capacity manifest, sustain, and express the powers of the human mind and body. The greatest portion of these mental operations happen on an unconscious level, which is recognized as the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is part of man's mental makeup, proportionally the largest part of the regular man's consciousness. The second largest section is man's conscious mind, and the smallest section of man's mind is the supra-conscious mind. The constant practice of this mystic technique of prayer takes advantage of the mind's ability to mold large amounts of subtle energies. I say all this to point out that prana is molded by mind substance. Speaking metaphysically, the soul uses the instruments of man's mind to mold these subtle pranas indirectly or directly to create environmental conditions. A man that is neat, orderly, and precise in his actions will create an environment that reflects his mental character. The man and woman that is lazy, incoherent in his or her thoughts will build an environment that reflects these negative dispositions without consciously trying. The auric substance that makes up the layers of magnetic fields that surround the physical and subtle bodies attracts the karmically correct person, place, and things to build the necessary environment that offers the best experiences needed for your life lessons. Within man's auric and etheric structures, there is enough energy to move the earth off its axis when developed, harnessed, controlled, and expressed. In fact, the auric and etheric structures of man stays in existence for hundreds of thousands of years, gaining experience on several planes of existence, subtle and gross. The etheric and auric bodies are designed to harness the mental and vital energies from the Mahabindus of this solar system and the power vehicles of expressions for the soul for countless of lifetimes. The spinal column and chakra system that is within this auric structure is like a miniature cyclotron that accelerates particles of energies under pressurized conditions, and also miniature fusion systems that power the subtle and gross vehicles of expression for the soul to gain experience for countless thousands of lifetimes. This prayer method and most yoga systems are designed to unlock and harness these powers within the sushumna and chakra system. Where there is mental activity, there is an abundance of prana, either being configured and or sustained in operations by mind. Man's mind controls all functions of vital energies within the body, consciously or unconsciously. This mind field of Shakti consciousness is the initiator and sustaining force of vital energies, or pranas, on several levels of consciousness without mind prana, that is just raw, subtle energies waiting to be molded and directed by mind. Earlier I stated that this prayer technique had a combination of Christian, Hindu, and Buddhist invocations, pranayama methods, and mudra techniques that serve to pull in these subtle cosmic energies, pranas, impregnate it with direct mind substance, and project it out to a proposed target. As I discussed in the chapter on the power of invocation in the mystic form of prayer, that man's ability to speak is a direct result of the power of Kundalini manifesting the power of consciousness through several chakras, from the base chakra up to the throat chakra. The pranayama methods alone, with visualization techniques, is used to pull large quantities of vital and mental energies into the physical and auric subtle structures in order to impregnate them with mind energies coded with the purpose and direction of the prayer and its target. The mudra techniques are used to seal and redirect vital pranas and mental pranas to assist the practitioner of prayer in using an established channel to increase and project prayer energies. When a person uses this mystic form of prayer in an unselfish manner to send spiritual, uplifting, healing, subtle energies, they become, for a brief time, a point of consciousness under karmic authority. He or she operates for this brief moment in time as a great adept would do in his service to humanity. During this time, the practitioner of the prayer directs all his or her consciousness and energies towards performing the prayer. The secret to amplifying and projecting this power of the mystic prayer energies is being able to place your total being in the deliverance of the prayer. When your whole being is directed in the task of performing this mystic prayer technique with a spiritually unselfish purpose, which produces a rare form of love energies, the practitioner becomes, at that time, an instrument for the will of God, a point of consciousness under karmic authority. Then he or she is working in concert with the divine will of God, which is to help sustain life. The unselfish, impersonal state of mind produces a pure state of love energies, which becomes a carrying agent for the prayer energies from point A, the person who is praying, to point B, the target of the prayer. It was the late, great Western yogic master, Dr. George King, who revealed to the world the scientific properties of love energies. He stated that it was the creative preservational cosmic energy of the universe, and that it was this energy that allowed the impregnated pranas being manipulated by the mystic prayer technique to have a free, sustaining flow from the sender, point A, to the target, point B. A close study of the principal laws surrounding this love energy, described by Dr. George King, will show that it resembles the laws and properties of electrical energies. For example, in order to have a free flow of electrical energies within the electrical conduits and wires of the house, the building must be physically grounded within the earth. The electrician installs an 8-foot iron rod within the ground with a copper wire attached to the electrical meter box. Without this ground rod and wire, the electricity will not flow in one direction, and now the electrical wires of the house. The electrical ground wire stabilizes the flow of electrical power within the house. The love energy that we are talking about here operates best and in its highest capacity in a selfless state of mind. This selfless state of mind is the ground effect of the love energies. The Mother Earth primary mental state radiating from her massive body is a selfless frame of mind energy that she operates in 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, because she gives her resources to everyone in an unconditional manner. When we place ourselves in this selfless state of mind during our performance of the mystic prayer technique, we become grounded with this love energy, and the laws of karma this gives us access to transfer huge amounts of spiritual prayer energies to flow free through open space to its target. This is the nature and power of love energy. It grounds you in the loving nature of the goddess Mother Earth and the preservation power that sustains the flow of energy from its sender to its target. The 5 steps to performing this mystic prayer. There are 5 steps or components to this mystic form of prayer that turns man's mind and body into an instrument that pulls in cosmic energies, pranas, and interlaces them with spiritual thoughts that can be projected out on streams of cosmic energies, aimed to saturate its target with the subtle pranas laced with the signature of the prayer's goal. 1. Recognition of the all-pervasive power. Step 1 is recognizing the unlimited, endless power of God that is all about us as the power that gives life and sustains all life on earth and the universe. 2. Make a request for this power. Make a mental request for the power to flow down through your auric structure and etheric subtle bodies. While using imagination, visualization, and mudra yoga techniques with the physical body, head, arms, hands, and legs, to help harness and seal the magnetic creative cosmic energies of the universe to be impregnated with purpose and direction of the prayer intent and redistributed these energies and project the impregnated energies in a concentrated pattern as spiritual power energies towards its target. 3. Impregnate the prana with purpose and direction. In this third step, the prayer practitioner performs the prayer with a voice of deep reverence, expressed in a heavily controlled emotional fashion. This controlled, passionate expression of speech seals the intent of the power in the subtler energies being projected and onto the psychomental physical realm. Imagination creates intensity. Visualization holds the imagination in existence and channels the energies into the psycho-spiritual, mental, and physical realms of Earth. The fourth step of the prayer technique is where the mudra yoga technique comes into full effect. The practitioner uses the mudra yoga methods to harness the subtle energies through positioning the physical body to seal, redirect, redistribute, and project the concentrated subtle energies being manipulated by the prayer method. While adopting a mudra yoga technique, the practitioner uses imagination and visualization to pull on the all-pervasive subtle cosmic energies and push them through the auric mental structure to be impregnated with the prayer's purpose and direction, then projected out to its target. 5. Close out the prayer. The fifth aspect of the prayer is where the practitioner uses his mind, voice, and hands to perform a mudra that shuts off the flow of pranas, or cosmic energies, on the psychic realms, mental realms, and the physical realm. Preparation of the prayer technique. Before we go too deep into the mystic prayer, let me go over several forms of preparation that help to increase the capacity of prayer. There are several forms of preparation that the practitioner should consider here, which are important to the success of the prayer method. That is having the right mental and emotional attitude and setting the right physical environment. Mental attitude is the first most important preparation that helps to bring about a positive frame of mind. By developing confidence, it would help to bring about the right attitude. This will help to create positive thought forms within the aura instead of negative thought forms. If you are home and just woke up from a deep sleep, then it may require you to wash your face, your mouth. If you have had heavy perspiration, then a complete bath to clean and stimulate the body. If you are coming in from a day's work, it would be wise to make a practice before praying, especially feet and hands if you have been out in the public. Location is a very important part of this prayer technique. The continuous use of a location makes it easier for the pranic and mental substances to formulate within that area. Over time, you actually create a sacred place for performing this method of prayer. This gives you a greater power as time goes on and a greater ability to tune into the universal supplies of energies. The key here is conditioning the environment you choose to pray in by keeping that area free of any other activity. When you walk into a library, you immediately feel as though you must be quiet, and you find that it's a perfect place to perform various mental activities. You find this is true in classrooms, courtrooms, churches, and even theaters. You can create the same type of environment for your prayer room. I have practiced this form of prayer for decades now, practically all of my life, and have designated a room in my house for only spiritual activities, such as performing prayer, mantra sessions, and spiritual healing. This room is electrified when performing this mystical form of prayer. On a weekly basis, I conduct a small group of prayer sessions for world healing and peace. When new participants join our group prayer session, one of their first comments afterward is that they feel the spiritual energy flow within the prayer room. The psychics that come and visit us speak of fascinating psychic events that take place during our group prayer and mantra session for world peace and healing. These visiting psychics always speak of the psychic light shows and the hundreds of people living on the astral and etheric realms that join us in the group prayer and mantra session for world peace and healing. By designating a spot or room in your house, it creates a sacred and holy place where a vortex of spiritual energies can be easily created, pulled upon, and utilized as directed prayer power. Another preparation is using the violet-colored flame of protection and transmutation. This is a great tool for purifying the human aura and the aura of the room. The best technique for using the violet flame of transmutation that I know of is the one given by the Aetherius Society in a book they published called The Practices of Aetherius. This book has various mystic rituals and techniques of protection. I highly recommend the practices that teach you to erect the violet flame of protection, such as the following one. The practice for erecting the violet flame of protection. First, imagine and visualize a brilliant white light coming down from the Earth's atmosphere. See this brilliant magnetic white light as it descends to your head. Allow it to radiate the brain. Bring the white light down to the neck, shoulders, and into the heart center, allowing it to fill the heart center. Hold this visualization in place, and then move your imagination and visualization to the Mother Earth. Then make a reverent request to this great divine goddess, the Mother Earth, for her violet flame of protection and transmutation. When directing the mind to the Logos of the Earth, do this with a clear and pure intent. The requests made for violet flame of protection to the great goddess, the Mother Earth, must be done with great reverence. In your imagination, see this violet-colored flame of protection as a living, vibrating substance, moving and engulfing the whole body. Realize that this violet flame is part of the Earth's essence. It is the life force of the Mother Earth. Imagine and visualize this violet flame of protection ascending from the Logos of the Earth and coming up through the feet, through the auric and physical body, up to the heart chakra. During its journey up, imagine and visualize the violet-colored flame penetrating through your feet, legs, through every molecule of your being, all the way up to the heart chakra. With your imagination and visualization, allow the violet flame to amalgamate with the white light at the heart chakra. Now extend your imagination and visualization a little further. Imagine this amalgamated violet flame and white light moving above the shoulders, neck, up and into the head and above the head. Allow this violet flame to engulf the physical body and auric structure completely. Allow this violet flame of protection and transmutation to penetrate every molecule of your being. See this violet-colored flame extend itself some 20 feet above the head. Another violet flame technique that is highly effective. As stated earlier, the best visualization practice that I know of is the practice of the presence given in the book called The Practices of Aetherius, published by the Aetherius Society. Visualize a violet-colored flame of protection around your physical body. The violet flame is a sacred flame of the Mother Earth that has a purification quality and protection quality about it for all life streams. Through mankind's inherent faculty of imagination and visualization, he can request from the Mother Earth this violet flame of protection and purification, and she, the Mother Earth, gives this willingly, asking nothing in return. Many mystic organizations have given violet flame visualization practices, but I find that the violet flame practice offered by the Aetherius Society is unique in its visualization practices. In the Aetherius visualization practices, you have to bring together three mighty forces of energies that are visualized into being and used as a protection and purification instrument. The Aetherius practice of the violet flame uses the vibrating white light from the upper atmosphere, the golden sphere located above the top of the head, and the violet flame that comes from the Mother Earth. Another method is by simply burning incense within the area. This tends to cleanse the mental astral realms of that area of negative energized forms. Using the above techniques and items for preparation for this mystic prayer method, you should have moderate success.
Okay. Part 1, a description of the prayer technique. Okay. The following is a technique of the mystic prayer method. It is a very effective method of manipulating the subtle life force within the mental and physical framework of man and the surrounded atmosphere. We will also describe the other essential components of the prayer technique, such as 1. Methods for creating concentrated thought forms through controlled imagination. 2. Methods for sustaining imagination through controlled visualization. 3. Pranayama techniques used for manipulating subtle cosmic energies. 4. Mental and vocal invocation methods using the ancient science of mantra sastra. 5. Using mudra yoga, the science of sealing and redirecting prana. Number 1. Recognition of the all-pervasive power. The first step is to recognize that we exist in a sea of all-pervasive mind substance, the one mind, or the universal mind that stands as the background substance of all God's creation. Imagine and visualize the magnitude of this power. Then realize that this all-pervasive mind substance that permeates throughout the universe is that power assisting in holding matter together on the physical and subtler planes. Imagine and visualize that you are in the middle of this universal sea mind substance, and realize that during this moment of prayer, you are a point of consciousness under karmic authority within this universal sea of mind, with complete control and power over the will of this mind substance. Then recognize that as a universal, all-pervasive mind that holds matter together, there's another power that sets things in motion, which is the all-pervasive power called prana, the vital life force of the universe. The prana in this universal cosmic energy that exists throughout the universe and that makes motion possible. This all-pervasive prana works hand in hand with the all-pervasive mind. Matter uses prana and mind to manifest itself on several planes of existence. The soul, which is called the I within man, uses both mind and prana to express the will of the spirit, the I am within man. Remember once again that you are a point of consciousness under karmic authority, and that you exert control over the universal supply of prana. 2. Make a request for this power. Make a mental and verbal request for the subtle flow of pranic powers to flow down through your auric, etheric, mental, psychic, subtle, and gross bodies to impregnate it with the mentally stated prayer words and verbally stated prayer words. Allow these prayer thoughts and prayer words to become the power signatures of the projected prayer energies. These power signatures lace the prayer power with love substance to carry it to its proposed target. As stated in the earlier chapters, The mind of man has the ability to mold and shape the subtle cosmic power called prana. This means that the mind has the ability to pull on this all-pervasive cosmic energy. The mind of man encompasses a large percentage of the auric field of man, which within it has several layers of mental auric fields of substance that operates at different levels of capacity from one realm of existence to the next. The mental imagination creates a path down towards the auric structure, and with intense concentrated visualization funnels the subtle pranas down through this imaginative creative funnel, so that's impregnated with the mental thought configurations created by the stated prayer words. In making the mental request on the all-pervasive supply of prana, intent behind the thought and actions for performing the prayer is one of the most important aspects of performing the prayer. Intent behind the prayer's thoughts and actions are the molding mechanisms to the energy, empowering the produced character of the prayer power. Another essential quality of this form of prayer is the practitioner's ability to introduce the impersonal power of love within the prayer. The power of love is a preservative energy that sustains all life. The power of mind can pull on, mold, and shape prana. The power of love preserves the mentally configured prana in its operation for a specific time. Number 3, impregnate the prana with purpose and direction. In this step of the prayer, the practitioner performs the prayer with a voice of deep reverence, expressed with controlled imagination, controlled emotions, with a respect and deep character. This controlled, passionate expression of speech seals the intent of the prayer in the subtle energies being pulled within the auric structure and projected out as prayer energies. Imagination creates intent. Visualization holds the imagination in existence and channels the energies into the psycho-spiritual, mental, and physical realms of earth. 4, project the impregnated prana with the prayer technique. This 4th step of the prayer technique is where the practitioner uses the mudra yoga technique to impregnate and project the prayer energies. The mudra technique seals the flow of prana from existing several vortex centers. The mudra technique also redirects the harnessed pranas that has been transformed into a thought-provoking impregnated prayer energies and assists in projecting them towards a target as a remedy. The mudra technique consists of having the spinal column straight while standing or sitting, raising the arms in order to align it with the heart chakra. This helps to activate the heart chakra in order to pull the impregnated prayer power towards the heart chakra. The palms of the hands are held open with fingers straight out in order to project the subtle prana out of the hands. In addition, with the feet flat on the floor, whether you are standing and sitting, this helps to ground the body and auric structure to allow a free flow of prayer energies. While performing this mudra technique of prayer, the practitioner also uses his or her imagination and visualization. This is done by placing a mental command through a creative imagination on all the pervasive prana to be pulled down through you and impregnated with purpose and direction from the prayer. Then imagine and visualize that it is projected out through the palms of the hands and a white light from the heart chakra. 5, close out the prayer. The 5th aspect of the prayer is where the practitioner uses his mind, voice, and hands to perform a mudra that shuts off the flow of pranas, or cosmic energy. The following technique closes out the prayer on the psychic, mental, and physical levels of existence. The prayer practitioner uses his mind by consciously closing out the prayer by withdrawing all of your senses from producing the actions of the prayer. The voice is used as a trigger, a closeout within the mental bodies to shut out all the sensory perceptions connected to transmitting the cosmic energies of prayer by whispering into the mental auric structures and mental planes. So it is done. The hands are used to shut off the physical flow of pranas by rubbing the palms of the hands together several times. Part 2. Further insight on the prayer technique. Developing the proper frame of mind. When performing the prayer technique, the prayer practitioner takes on the following frame of mind. Breathe in and out several times to stimulate and calm the mind. In the beginning of the prayer technique, imagine and visualize that your auric structure and physical body is a receiving set standing in a sea of the all-pervasive mind substance and all-pervasive prana. In addition, imagine and visualize that you have the ability to access this unlimited source of the all-pervasive subtle energies called prana. Concentrate on this imagination. See yourself in the sea of mind substance and prana, and see yourself as a receiving center for this cosmic energy. Now visualize the whole of your body as this receiving center for these cosmic energies, prana. Another frame of mind needed is one that produces the pervasive energies called love. An expression of impersonal love void of any distorted emotions that will discolor the preservative qualities. This aspect of energy called love preserves the projected prayer energies as it travels to your target. Associated mudra to prayer method. Hand, sign, and position. The first step is to stand erect with feet slightly apart with arms down to your sides and hands clenched in a fist position with head held slightly up to align with the spine. If you choose to sit, then do it in a wooden chair with the back straight, head held slightly up to align with the spine, and hands resting on the knees, with fingers hanging over the kneecaps. Another mudra method of sealing the prana in the body while sitting down is by placing the left hand over the solar plexus center and the right hand over the left and slightly pressing inwards. The pranayama yoga exercise. Breathe in and out deeply in a rhythmic manner. Allow the intake breath to be as complete as it can, and the exhale to equal the intake in a rhythmic fashion. The proper procedure is to breathe in by pushing out on the lower diaphragm, slightly expanding the chest and rising the shoulders to allow the lungs to top off with the inhale of breath. This rhythmic method of breathing excites the pranic flow of energies within the subtler bodies and physical body. It allows the prana to enhance the mental visualization. On a purely physical level, every unit of breath, that's intake, 20% of the oxygen go directly to the brain via the lungs and bloodstream. See the book Science of Breath by Yogic Ramachakra, or contact your higher self through yoga by Dr. Sri Yogiriji George King. The mantra yoga practice. Then repeat a sacred holy mantra for about 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure you have a mantra that you're comfortable with and have been properly initiated into. Also make sure that you have the correct pronunciation of the mantra to bring about or unlock the power of that mantra. Mantra is a sacral sonic vibration that resonates from the Absolute, down through the mighty sun and down through one or more of the major, minor, or minute chakras of the physical body and subtler bodies. One of the great secrets behind mantra is that the body of man naturally responds to mantra. According to the ancient tantric philosophy, by great Shakti power, according to the ancient tantric philosophy, the great Shakti power use mantra to embody the soul's consciousness that is stored in the base of the spine chakra, the Muladhara chakra, by coiling itself into a 3.5 energy formation, which is known as the Kundalini Shakti power. The Shakti power goes into a dormant state and becomes what we know as the Kundalini goddess, and then relates a sonic vibration that gives life to all of the bodies of man, from the subtler bodies to the gross body. This is known as the 4 states of sound. Mantra properly pronounced has an immediate effect on the aura. All mantras are made up from the 50 letters of the chakra petals, which are BJs, or seed mantras within the chakras. These various lotuses, chakra, use the seed mantras to calibrate the tremendous subtle energies that flow in and out of the chakras via the nadis. The nadis make up their entry and exit by the help of the sonic vibrations of the chakras called petals, or BJs. The chakras are vortex centers of power because of the point of consciousness, bindus or spiritual germ, that resides there. It is a compaction point of positive and negative pranas. These BJs and bindus are active during the chanting of mantra and cause the various chakras to accelerate and pull on the pranas, which then in turn have the aura to develop a spinning quality. This spinning quality picks up speed with intense concentration on the chanting of mantra. This spinning effect on the aura has a purification quality to the aura. It throws off and burns up negative thought forms that are attached to the aura. The gross, heavy negative thoughts that are not burned up are pushed down below the major chakras, thereby creating or opening up a pathway in the aura that is not negatively clouded with past and present contaminated thought forms. Part 3 of the completed prayer technique. Number 1, stand erect or sit in a straight back wooden chair facing the east with feet slightly apart if standing, or feet flat against the ground if sitting, with the arms down to your sides and hands clenched in a fist position with thumbs inserted within the fists if standing. If you are sitting, face the palms of the hands on the knees with the fingers hanging over the knees. In either case, the spine must stay straight and aligned with the head. Allow the head to be held slightly up, but still align with the spinal column. Number 2, breathe in and out until you feel calmed and relaxed, and make sure your breathing is in a rhythmic manner. The rhythmic pattern that I am advocating here is the deep breathing methods of equal inhale and exhale of breaths, where you allow the breath to fall low by expanding the lower diaphragm area. This will push the breath to the base of the lungs. By expanding the chest area, the breath will rise to the mid-level of the lungs, and by slightly raising the shoulder, it allows the breath to top off the lungs. This is also called the low, mid, high breath. When exhaling, the process is reversing by lowering the shoulders, deflating the chest, and pushing in the diaphragm to empty the lungs. Rapid, rhythmic, deep breathing will increase the oxygen levels in the blood, which is the form of gross prana, and the subtle pranic levels within the auric and etheric structures. Number 3, recite or chant a holy mantra that you have been properly initiated into. This will ignite the pranic energy within the aura by spinning the aura to a point where it throws off negative energized thought forms and create a screen of protection that reflects negative polarized energies and attract positive polarized cosmic energies. Mantra is an ancient tool that shapes and molds pranic forces. As far as man is concerned, all mantras is within the body, and the power of mantra comes from the body. According to the ancient tantric doctrines, mantra is a harmonic force within the body that holds consciousness into manifestation. In fact, mantra is a sound vibration, and the mantra that man uses derives from the sound vibration made by the soul when it is brought the subtle and gross manifestation of consciousness into being, which manifests themselves as a chakra or psychic centers. This initial energy of the sound vibration used by the soul doesn't dissipate. It becomes a molding and shaping force over Shakti consciousness. By embedding itself in the chakras as BJs, chakra petals as the original ultra-positive samskaras, and also project themselves as nadis. Therefore, in chanting mantra, japa, you should realize that you are exciting these power signatures left behind by the soul. These power signatures activate and synchronize the whole auric and physical structures by calibrating it to receive tremendous power. Number 4, imagine and visualize that your physical body and subtler bodies is a huge receiving and transmitting instrument of cosmic energy, prana. Imagine that a stream of pure white cosmic energy is streaming down through the top of your head and down through the arms and the hands to position itself to the exit at your command. Also, position the stream of cosmic energies as a heart center, waiting for the command to be radiated from the heart center, the Anahata chakra, with purpose and direction given through the verbal and mental impressions of the prayer. Understand that every thought that we have originates from one of the psychic centers or chakras. Every action we make in itself is the result of the thoughts that blossom from the chakras. Therefore, when we imagine or visualize something, the energy of this imagination and visualization follow this pathway of originating from the chakra system, man's true consciousness, as thought energy and blossoms into energies of action. Number 5, then raise your arms straight in front of you with the palms of the hands out, or raise your arms to shoulder level on each side and bend the elbow with the forearm upright in a vertical manner, with palms of the hands facing out about head level, still facing the east, and while repeating the prayer out loud with great reverence, devotion, and passion. Now it is at this point that pure white cosmic energies that you have stored within the body is impregnated with the purpose and direction of prayer. Then you give the pure white cosmic energies command to be released to fulfill your prayer's purpose. Now further imagine and will that this stream of cosmic energies with purpose and direction push out of this power from your body machine with tremendous concentration. Visualize the prana being released from the palms of your hands and the heart center, totally impregnating the person, place, or thing that you are praying for. Once you have finished the prayer, lower your arms, thus the palms of your hands, against each other in order to cut off the flow of cosmic energy. Then quietly whisper to yourself, "So it is done," so that no one standing next to you can hear your words. How to practice this form of prayer? This form of prayer can be used in many ways, and with constant practice, you will be able to harness a tremendous source of power, which will allow you to be able to truly act as a point of consciousness for God, under karmic authority, as you use this power to relieve mankind of its many problems. This form of prayer can also be used in a group manner for for the manipulation of spiritual energies and spiritual healing for the world as a whole. The best techniques or rituals of this form of prayer is used in a group fashion given by the Aetherius Society in their little book called The 12 Blessings. This mystic technique of prayer, when perfected, can also be used for radiating huge amounts of spiritual healing energies that can eventually initiate rainstorms, stop thunderstorms, bring aid and assistance to the needy, and bring about peace in warm times. It can also be a great instrument for personal development. Important factors on the mystic prayer technique. In order for the prayer to be successful, all of the above actions described in the technique must take place in a smooth, natural manner with deep conviction and belief in what you are doing. The prayer must be performed without any pressure or stress. Your mind must be firmly placed on creating the patterns necessary for performing the prayer. The two most important laws that come into mind are love and service. Love is an all-pervasive energy that preserves all life and things in creation. The introduction of selfless love energies into the prayer helps to heighten the consciousness of the prayer, which produces higher quality of prayer energies to be projected and sustain it in its flight. The more selfless or impersonal you can make your prayer, the greater love energy can be produced. When producing this type of love energies, the upper chakras from the heart center and up is activated to project these love energies. The nature of this type of love energies is the component of projected prayer energies that act as a carrying agent for the prayer energies being projected with the mystic technique of prayer. Service is a life-giving and sustaining action. All things in creation must perform in order to spiritualize themselves. Our minds and bodies are designed to give service and receive service in order to sustain itself. The breath of man is one of his most important actions of service. We inhale oxygen that comes from the plant life, and in service to the plant life, we breathe out carbon dioxide that the plant life breathes in as its life-sustaining substance. Throughout the human, animal, plant, and mineral kingdom, we will find that all of them interchange resources through servicing each other, even down to the micro-life forms like bacteria. It serves a purpose in life through the act of service. The whole creation of God is based on all life forms serving each other in order to sustain itself and advance through evolution in creation in order to get back to the omniconscious state of God, or the Absolute. This prayer technique is a major instrument of karma for the students of karma yoga. The word karma is defined as all actions in Sanskrit terminology, and yoga is defined as the making union with God. Therefore, karma yoga is described as action used to make union with God. Karma is associated with the universal law mainly because all actions within creation happen within a framework of divine law. Every action made creates a series of other actions which produce positive, negative, or neutral reactions that places the exact pressures needed to counterbalance the original action performed. The correct actions used in the prayer technique is the karma yoga component that uses these actions as a calibrating force toward all good actions. It is the exterior and interior pressures placed there by thoughts and actions of the person, which serves to calibrate the ability of the person who is praying. This mystic form of prayer uses karma yoga as well. In fact, the whole prayer method is the highly intense form of karma yoga, which is the spiritual actions under karmic authority. The mystic prayer method is designed to direct all your mental, emotional, and physical energies toward radiating spiritual prayer energies toward the object of prayer. These ultra-positive actions create the right karmic pressure, that make these prayer actions under karmic authority, which is a universal law that is to give service. This mystic form of prayer is exactly this. During the performance of this prayer technique, the person becomes a point of consciousness under karmic authority.
Okay, so that ends that chapter. Any questions? Okay. I know that was long. I didn't think it was going to take that long. That kind of ends this series or this class, right? Because we give the technique. The next class can be an open discussion class. Which will be on the 17th. If there's no questions online, then I guess we can close out.
I remove this one there.
Mm-hmm. About what? Mahabhutas are they are the cosmic elements of the universe. Uh, from Shakti, if you look at the universe, the absolute power of the universe is that's dormant and has an endless potential of power is Shiva, according to the Hindus and Buddhists, right? From Shiva comes Shakti, and Shakti is all power. Every power that you can think about in the universe is Shakti, is an expression of Shakti, right? Now, the Shakti have four main principles that we know of, and these main principles is the Nani principle, the Chitta principle, which is Nani is wisdom, is predetermined action, right? And Chitta is mind, universal mind. And then you have prana, and then you have the preservation of prana, amana, right? So, and prana is absolute power. So those are the four major principles. Now, from those four major principles comes the Mahabhutas, which is the cosmic elements that allow vitality to happen. Now, in every culture, they try to simplify it or name it like they call it the earth elements, where you have ether or space, right? Air, fire, water, and earth, right? And those are the five Mahabhutas. But if you look at it on the Hindu or the etheric level, you know, we say cosmic cosmic elements, which will look at space as etheric sound. Because why? Because there's a vibration to everything in the universe, and they call it akasa. Akasa is the thing, it's a carrying agent for everything, because if you notice, if we can examine everything etherically, we'll notice that it has its own vibrational signature, and that's what holds it together for the cycles that it go through. And then you have Vayu, which is a gaseous, airy type cosmic element, which is a form of prana, or air or gas form. Then you have the heat form, which is Tejas or Agni, which is fire in the grossest form, but it's light and heat in the subtle form. And then you have water, which in Mahabhutas is called Apas, which is a liquid form of cosmic element, right? And then you have the gross form, which we know as earth, dirt, rock, stone, whatever, or even our body, right? Which is the peripheries inside of the Mahabhutas, and it means something that's solid, right? So throughout the universe, you have these Mahabhutas on a cosmic universal level, on a level of the galaxy, and then in the form of a solar system, and then in the form of the earth, and then in the form of a human or animal state, okay? So they appear in all states of operation, the Mahabhutas. And from that comes the five major pranas, comes the operations of mind and everything. And when the absolute releases the spirit, or not release the spirit, yeah, you can say release the spirit, and then the spirit creates the soul, and then the soul takes its journey through evolution. It is these energies that the soul pulls on in order to form as many different expressions throughout reincarnation, throughout its reincarnation cycles, to involution, back to evolution. So the Mahabhutas is that cosmic source of energy, or source that we pull on in order to build everything around us. In fact, that's where even the sun pulls on it in order to produce the Tava, the Tavic rays. The sun pulls on the Mahabhutas to do that as well. So that's what the Mahabhutas are. Is that confusing or? Okay.
Okay, I have a general question, right? So regarding mudras and mantras, why is it that we make reference multiple times, right, during this chapter, that the person has to be initiated into mudra and mantras? Like, why is it that it has to
Why do I keep referencing that?
Yeah, like,
Because that's the law.
right, the law of karma.
That's the law of karma. Yeah. You have to be initiated in a mantra in order to give a mantra to someone else. It's just the law of the universe, and you have to be initiated into mudra the same way in order to use it. And it follows mantra and mudra is one and the same, really. It comes from, because mudras come from mantra. It comes from the practice of mantra satra. So it follows the same laws. Okay?
And why do you believe that why do you believe it's part of the framework? Like, why has it been created that way?
Because why?
Yeah, like, why is it so important to make sure initiation happens?
Because it's a sacred science, and when you go against it, you bring about negative reactions to you. You bring about a negative karma back to yourself for disrespecting it, in a sense.
So it's used to protect people.
Yeah, because it can be easily misused. To see the power, one of the main reasons that the power of mantra is guaranteed. So someone can take a mantra and use it to hurt someone if they wasn't properly introduced into that mantra, if they didn't properly get all the rules and regulations to how to use that mantra. Because if they harness that mantra can be used in a very selfish way, and it can be used in a very harmful way. So you have to be very, very careful about who you introduce into that, and who's allowed to be initiated into it, because some people take time to practice something, and when they see that it works, and they don't have the right character, they will misuse it, and then if you gave it to them in a careless way, then you are held responsible for that. Your karma is linked to that person's karma. So that's why we stress that over and over and over again. Remember, mantra is a way of harnessing power from within you. See, that's one reason why it's guaranteed. It's a way of calibrating your body to receive energy, right? Because it's a part of you already. So that's why it's guaranteed, and it's not no outside force. It's not no God in the sky. The power is already within you. So when someone initiates you into mantra, then they're teaching you how to harness the sacred power within you. And people can easily misuse that power, as we misuse most of the power that we learn that we have, and we learn that we have access to. Okay, this chapter we just read is a chapter out of my book. I should be publishing sometime next year, and all right, it's a book on prayer. So you won't find it anywhere. That's why I didn't email it out to everyone. If there's no other questions, then we can close out for today. And we'll be back on the 17th, Dwayne?
Yes.
17th? Yeah, we'll be back on the 17th.
Can you you mute it when you take it out?
Oh, yeah.
explain it to her? You always say it out loud. No, you can explain it to her. Explain it to her. The New Lord's Prayer. O divine and wondrous Spirit, O everlasting Lord of hosts, send forth now through me thy great and lasting power. Allow me, Almighty God, the lasting privilege of radiating to all the world thy great love, so that those who suffer may be given the power and energy to rise above their weaknesses. Almighty God, in great humility do I ask you to send forth your power, to give to me this great lasting privilege of being a channel, so that my suffering brothers may be helped and guided and healed and lifted into thy light, so that they who know not may look up and in doing so receive to their higher selves your divine counsel. Almighty God, this day have you granted me a divine privilege. I ask you now to give to me the strength so that never again will I turn from my inner vision of you. O great peace, great peace, great peace. In praise of your greatness, O God, doth my soul sing. Grant it energy to sing on forever and forever. Thank you for watching. There's no class next week. We're back on the 17th, and that is the final class for 2017. It'll be open discussion, so be sure to bring your questions.